Hello and welcome to Weekly Fix. I'm your co-host Zane. Joined with me is Jacob, and we are back. We had a week break, kind of taking it off, getting into the intro, but we're back, Jacob. Unfortunately, you were feeling under the weather, but look at you now, looking great
We're
here,
back.
here in video. How you feeling?
Much better than I was this time last week because this time last week is about when I started to come down with it. It was after church last Sunday. Came home, had a terrible headache. I was like, I'm going to take a nap. Let's see if it clears it up. Started to feel a little bit better, but then by the end of the night, I was starting to get another headache, starting to get like those cold chills a little bit.
Hmm.
And then I woke up in the morning about it was like 4:30 in the morning Monday. And I was slammed with a stomach virus. But we're back. We're back. We're feeling much better. It has passed, and I didn't think I was gonna recover. I thought it might be the end for me, but I made it. I made it.
You thought that was your time.
Yep. There's a few moments that morning where I was like, I'm never gonna be the same. Like this is just gonna cause eternal damage to me. Like it's done. So, but no. Thankfully, I
Yeah.
recovered.
Well, I'm glad you recovered. I'm super glad. I
Yep.
know
Yep.
that, yeah, we had a bunch of people get sick like right around us. I know Dylan was sick, and then we had Peyton. Peyton got sick, our good friend Peyton. Uh, he was down, and I was with Dylan and him with you at church on Sunday, and I was like skirted it somehow, which is not the case with my kids. Generally, I catch everything that
Yeah.
comes my way in sickness. So I'm glad we, for now, have missed the boat, but uh, you know, thankful,
I'd say if you
glad to
made
be
it this
back.
far, yeah, I'd say if you made it this far, you've probably avoided whatever the germ was that got to all of us. I would say you've probably handled it and it's on its way out.
Well, we thought that, and then today at church, Madeline, one of Charlie's friends, wasn't there because she got sick last night with the same bug. So
Oh, so it's
I'm
still it's
like,
still
it's
lingering.
still lingering.
Still
We're
lingering.
like, we're trying to,
Literally.
we're putting down some grape juice, like trying to.
You're like you're like the Matrix. I've never seen it, but he does dodge some bullets, so maybe that's you guys.
Yeah, you've definitely seen the shot, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
that
yeah.
part of it.
You've probably seen a parody of the shot more than the shot itself.
Probably. Say I'd probably see more of that stuff than the actual
Yeah,
because I've never seen the movie, so
yeah. Yeah, bullet time's pretty cool. It was a great introduction. But yeah, so we missed a bunch of stuff with the last week going on. We generally put out a few more shorts in the in between time. Now that we are doing video, we've been trying to put out
mhm.
some more. But with the events that happen, and I know we're a week removed, but we still want to touch on it because we feel like it's important, and we feel like it's a crazy moment in our country and our nation and what's going on. And that, if you've been through it, we're talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Me and Jacob are both outspoken Christians on this podcast. Charlie Kirk himself was an outspoken Christian, and to see that happen in, someone who is having a discussion, no matter what your viewpoints are of him, just an absolute, like, horrible, heinous act that was done, and really sunk with us pretty heavy. It had a bigger impact on me than I expected. I've watched Charlie Kirk for over 10 years now, and you know, agree with a lot, disagree with some, and it just, man, it hit me. He's the same age as me. He's got two kids just like me. He's got a wife just like me, and it just, man, it was pretty impactful to see that news, and it was also personal, seeing the video, and because I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have had a warning or something, but man, that video was intense, and it's awful. And so we just wanted to come, since we do have some form of a platform. We feel like it's our duty as Christians to at least speak on it and touch on it, and really say, like, hey, like, we're not going to change our views. We're not going to change our commentary. We are very open about the morals that we like to see in content, and that we do see everything through a Christian lens and perspective, and we try to do that on this platform. And just, you know man, it was awful, and we might even be doing it a little bit more now, just because it's important that these values don't go by the wayside, and that this is not a point in the country where we stop speaking up for our faith, and we stop speaking up for the things that are right. So just wanted before we get into any of the fun, which we do have some fun planned, we wanted to touch on that and bring anything. Jacob, did you have anything to add to that? Did it set with you? Did you feel impacted? I know it's a little bit different of an age gap for it, but
Yeah, I actually wasn't very super familiar with him. When my brother actually was the one that told it to me, I was like, "Who is that?" Like, I didn't know a whole lot
oh
about him.
wow.
But I knew him when I saw who it was, if that makes
Mm.
sense. I didn't really know his
Yeah.
name, but I've seen his videos, I've seen stuff like that. And no, I think you touched on it very well. I mean, I think it's just more so the biggest like thing is like whether we agree or disagree. Like you said, there's things we agree with him on, there's things we disagree with him on. Just to come to the point of that sort of violence I think is just so disappointing. I mean, especially with, from all accounts, the one person that was willing to sit down and actually talk to people about stuff and give people an opportunity. I think a lot of his things were like, change his opinion on things, make him think about stuff, make him, have a conversation. And so I think that was more so the biggest disappointing thing for me. It's like, why would we resort to that level of something, especially with someone that was so willing to just talk to people? So no, I think you
Yeah.
summed it up great. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually curious because we haven't got to talk about it. We've been, in and out. So I was curious if you had, it impacted you as much as it did me and my family. I know my wife took it really, really hard because she saw me through the eyes of Charlie, kind of putting herself in that place. And then also, we lost a brother in Christ.
Mhm.
Regardless of what you think about that, that man was very outspoken with his religion. He was very outspoken that Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven, that you have to put your faith and trust in him alone. He came to this earth, he lived a perfect life, and he died for our sins. And he was very outspoken about that. And we know for a fact that by his testimony, that man is in heaven right now, sitting at the throne of Jesus. So we are, anytime a fellow Christian gets killed, it's really quite sad, but it's a beautiful thing that we know where he's at, and that there, we don't live as those without hope. Right,
Yep.
the worst thing you can do to a Christian is send them home.
Yep.
So you know, at the end of the day, if the worst thing you can do to us is let us meet our Savior, bring it on. That's awesome. So,
Well, the little bit we did get to talk about it, like he wouldn't want to come back to this earth. He's
oh
in a
no,
much happier, better place, and so no, I think that's great.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Just hate it for the family. The family
Yeah,
is all of this is always hardest on the ones that are closest to it. We really hate that for them. So, but anyway, moving on. Uh, it's really hard to switch up. It's been hard for me to kind of focus on anything because this has kind of invigorated me to be more outspoken with those around me and to be kind of more connected to some of these aspects because it is the more important. This is fun and we like doing this, but really, what we do outside of content is more important. This is just what we do for fun. So, uh, it is hard to kind of switch into it, but we're going to, and it may be a quick switch up. But there was a recent trailer come out, and I didn't know this movie was being made. I didn't know anything about it, but the movie trailer is called Anaconda. Now, Jacob, did you see this trailer? Do you know anything about Anaconda?
no, I do not. I'm not familiar with this one.
Okay, so Anaconda is a movie from the early 2000s that they made. They go down into the jungle I think it's a South American tour, and they go through a river, and this snake just picks them off one by one. This big anaconda, right, just like the name. So, so now we have Paul Rudd and Jack Black remaking Anaconda. Like in the movie, they're saying, "Hey, let's remake Anaconda. We can do it better." And so they go in and make Anaconda, and it kind of turns into a tropical thunder type movie where like there wasn't any real danger, but now there is. And so it looks hysterical. It comes out this Christmas uh as a theatrical release, and it looks like one of those true old comedies like from the early 2000s where they were really like actually funny. They were good jokes, well thought out, and it's Paul Rudd and Jack Black, so it's gonna be a good time. I know my wife hates Jack Black, and when I told her, I was like, "Hey, are you excited for this?" She was like, I hate Jack Black," and I was like, "I always forget that." So I, but I watched that trailer and I was like, "This is going to be a hilarious, hilarious movie."
Yeah, I love that it's getting like a Christmas release because I'm sure it's gonna get marketed like a Christmas movie. and it's probably gonna have like just the dumbest like things in it that have nothing to do with Christmas, like holidays. They'll probably throw in like a Christmas joke in there, and that'll be their justification for doing a Christmas movie. But
Yeah.
no, I love those two together. I don't know, have they done any projects together, or is this like their first one?
Honestly, I should have looked that up, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Nothing comes off like off the rip. I can't think of anything that they've done together.
So I think that
No.
in and of itself will be fun to kind of see them, working off of each other. And I feel like their comedy are two very different levels of comedy, like the
Yes.
way that they
Yes.
do stuff. And I think seeing that like throughout the movie is going to be funny, kind of getting them to like, just their interactions will be like almost awkwardly funny, which I think
Yes.
will be fun. So yeah, no, that sounds fun. I might have to look it up just to see what it's all about and see if it's worth a watch.
You definitely should watch it because it is like at least the trailer. Like, and I'm a sucker for trailers. I know everyone's like, "Oh, a trailer can like fool you, and it's not actually a representation of the movie," and blah 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 blah. But like, I love a good trailer, and it because it gets me hyped for the movie. It does
Yeah.
this did exactly what it was supposed to do, which is get you excited for it. So I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, I love trailers. Like I am totally a sucker. Like I'll jump on the bandwagon of like if a trailer looks good. I actually recently went back and rewatched the Batman teaser trailer, like the very first one we ever got, where we first see the Riddler, and we have that
Okay.
awesome scene where they're like, "Who is this guy?" and he beats up the dude, and he does the "I'm vengeance"
Okay.
thing, and I was like, "Man, I can't wait for this new Batman movie. Hopefully, it has the same vibes." But I remember thinking like when that trailer first came out, that teaser, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I want from Batman. So I'm like you. I love a good trailer. I love a good teaser. I sometimes find myself liking the teasers or trailers better than the projects sometimes because obviously it's just like the high points and like the good tone and good setting to it all. So I like if a movie presents well in like a trailer, that's usually its best way to get me to come watch it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I I've been fooled by trailers, but it's still so fun. I think back to the Infinity War trailer and just the absolute hype that that brought, and then it didn't disappoint, right? So that was
Yeah.
really cool. And get to theorize about like like what's coming, what are we gonna see? I remember the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and everyone's like, "That's Toby! Like he Andrew kicked the spider in the face."
Yeah, yeah.
So like the lizard in the face, and like I just remember like it's so fun. It's so fun, and it's cool, especially with like the trailers that are trying to fool you, like keep stuff out. I remember when Endgame came out, they're like, "Someone's standing in this area right here." Like that's not what it is, and so
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. I love it. And then after you watch the movie and seeing that like half the scenes aren't even in it, that's also super cool.
Well, is it Infinity War that has the Hulk running with the Avengers at
Yep.
Wakanda, and we never
Yeah.
like
Never
obviously that
saw it.
doesn't happen.
None
But
of them
that
ever
trailer in
ran through the forest
particular,
together.
yeah, that trailer in particular, because that's the trailer that starts off with Nick Fury with the "there was an idea" thing, right? Is that one or is that in
Yeah.
game?
No, I think that was in game.
I think. Oh, is it in game that has either that trailer got me so hyped, whichever one that one was. I can't remember if it's Infinity War or in
It might
game.
have been Infinity War. I think it was Infinity War.
That I remember when that first came out, I was like, "Where's the brick wall? I'm ready to
Sign
run
me
through
up.
it." Like, yeah, I'm an Avenger. Like, sign me
Yeah.
up. Like, and then the another trailer that was super hype. We're gonna talk about trailers here for a second because I love
Yeah.
trailers. But the Captain America Civil War one, when we first get Spider-Man introduced
Oh,
into the
dude.
MCU, he does like the Underoos.
Underoos?
I like, dude, that broke the internet. Everyone
Oh,
was like, "Spider-Man is in the MCU, like he's finally here." So yeah, oh, good trailers. That might be a good topic for us to discuss one day. Like, what
yeah.
were the best trailers for like a
Well,
movie?
the Avengers always do such a good job because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think of the Age of Ultron one where it was playing the Pinocchio soundtrack and like No Strings on Me, and dude, that was like haunting. I was like, okay, like let's go.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that was kind of like the start of my like real like because I was a Marvel fan before that and I was really enjoying it, but when Age of Ultron came out, it was kind of the point where I was like started paying attention before the movies came out because otherwise I was like, okay, like it's coming out, like go watch it. That's fun. I wasn't like theorizing about what's happening, who's going to be
yeah,
who, like all that stuff. But Age of Ultron's really when it started to hype up. Like I was like, okay, like we can find out some of this stuff beforehand. We can get this hype train going. Like it was fun. So
Yeah, there's a few trailers like the Avengers ones always stick out. Obviously, the movies ended up being a little bit of a disappointment, but I remember when the Force Awakens trailer first dropped, I was like, "It's back! Like, it's finally here. Star Wars is gonna be back on the big screen." I probably watched that trailer like 300 times. Like
oh
I would
wow.
just sit there and just watch it and watch it again and then watch it again and then I'd watch a breakdown on it and then I'd watch someone else's breakdown on it and then I'd watch like those videos. It's like 100 Easter eggs you missed in the Star Wars: The Force Awakens trailer. I was just like consuming all of that stuff because I was so excited about it.
Yeah,
And so yeah, good trailers. They get you. They will
that's
get
so
you like
cool.
ready. Um, there's been a few recently that I feel like we've like I feel like the Fantastic Four
That was a
trailer
good
was really
trailer.
good.
Thunderbolts
Superman had
trailer.
a really good trailer. Um, so I feel like
Thunder
they kind of
Thunderbolts had a
figured it
good trailer
out.
too.
Yeah, Thunderbolts had a good
Yeah,
trailer.
they
They
have.
figured them out. They
I
know
mean,
what
heck,
they know what to
Echo
show
had a
us.
good trailer.
Oh well, that's one of those ones that disappointed us.
It disappointed us, but I still enjoyed the trailer. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Sometimes the trailer is better than the project.
yeah, no, yeah, a lot of times.
Yep.
But you touched on something there that I hadn't prepped you on, but I wanted to talk about because it's a piece of news. They said so. Batman 2 script is done, and
hmm
they said the villain is one we've never seen on the screen before.
hmm
What villain are we getting?
It's interesting with Batman because like he does have a pretty large rogue gallery,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have a ton of movies. So you start thinking through the movies that we have gotten of Batman. We've gotten Riddler a couple of times. We do have a Mister Freeze. Obviously, the Joker's been on the big screen. We've seen Bane. So you kind of eliminate some of those big ones right off the bat. A lot of people think it's going to be the Court of Owls stuff because I've also seen
Mm,
that they said it's going to be more of a Bruce Wayne centered movie rather than a Batman movie, which I think
okay.
would be really cool for the trilogy of this Batman. So we have obviously the Batman is just like it's the Batman movie. Like it is about him. You don't really see much of Bruce Wayne in that movie. And I think this would be cool if we got like the other side of that. Like you still want the suited up scenes, you still want to see him fighting, but it would be cool to kind of see how he deals with being Batman on a personal level. Because obviously we've seen that in the past with different Batmans, how much of a toll it takes on them mentally. We see it physically a lot too. Like I remember in the Dark Knight trilogy, Christian Bale, like he's always beat up, always bruised when he's like Bruce Wayne. So I think those would be a cool aspect to touch on. That one probably has the most weight, and that's been something that's been rumored for quite some time now. Is it's going to be a Court of Owls movie, and I think it really fits that Batman's narrative. It's very dark, very grimy. We saw it with the Riddler, a lot of thinking involved, a lot of playing the system essentially. And I
Okay.
feel like that would be a really cool aspect for the Court of Owls. So that's probably where I would lean towards. That's actually a comic run I've never read, so it's something I do need to pick up and read. I think before we get to that movie, but I'm familiar with the storyline a little bit. Like I've done like the Wikipedia and read like the summary of what the Court of Owls is and all that stuff. So I think that would be a really cool aspect to explore. And for me, that's exciting because I love getting introduced to villains we don't really know or haven't seen before because it's not something I'm like can predict what's going to happen. So I'm
Yeah.
excited that it's a villain that we don't really know.
So do you know who the main villain of the Court of Owls is? Like, do you
No, I
know?
don't. No, no, I don't
Yeah.
know much
Okay.
about the Court of Owls at all. I just kind of know like this. It's a group and like that type of stuff. Like I didn't want to spoil the comic run for me because I wanted
Yeah.
to actually like read it. So I've just done like those quick like Wikipedia skimming through like, oh, okay, what is this? Kind of get familiar a little bit with it.
I have it. I picked it up. I
Yeah.
picked it up at Gotham City, and I still haven't read it. I've been too busy and studying for other things. It's hard to pick up and read an entire run.
Mhm.
You only get so much free time. Are you really going to sit down and read like an old run of comics at that point? It's like I could
I don't
watch
know.
the show, I could do this, I don't know. But as soon as it gets confirmed, I'll be reading it just
Yeah,
because
I know
I
for
want to see it.
me personally, I love almost like doing the old runs of stuff right now and like the era of comic reading that I'm in
Mm,
more than I like the new stuff because like the new stuff, for instance, like we get like a new Absolute Batman because we're talking about Batman. I gotta wait like a month for the next issue. So like I get like what 15, 20 pages of a comic book and like
yeah.
yeah, it's incredible. Absolute Batman is the I'm not gonna say the best yet because it's not finished, But in my mind, like for me personally, it might be
No.
my favorite Batman run that I've read. And I haven't read a ton of Batman stuff, so that's not saying much. But I love it. Like it's so good. But like having a complete run of something, like being able just to read it all at once is
Oh, it's
so
so much
nice.
better.
It's
So much
so
better.
nice. So that's kind of where I've kind of been. Like I'm reading through Invincible right now. I still haven't gotten up to where we are in the show, but it is really nice. Like when I want to pick it up, I can just read as much as I want to, and I don't have to like stop. So
Yeah.
I kind of get what you're saying. Like, do I want to spend time reading the old stuff? But sometimes it's like when you binge watch a TV show, like it's kind of nice just to have it all at once.
No, it is, and it's kind of like the pacing, right? So if
Mhm.
you have something that's coming out monthly that you are enjoying that story, it's the one comic run you're picking up. Like it's so easy to consume. Like it's just
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
just do a quick one, easy hitter. But when you want to sit down and read a book that's
A
been
whole time.
out,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot. So especially when I have other books I need to read that are more important, that's kind of like it's kind of like the tugging aspect of it. It's like I don't know, maybe I should read my Bible. I don't know.
I really need to read Psalm 17 today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I have some other like teaching materials and stuff that I'm
Mhm.
working through. So it's also like, I really should, if I'm going to read something, I'm going to go read that. So I've struggled to read some comic books here lately.
I know for me, when I was studying for my insurance exam recently, what I would do is use that as like my break. So like I'd be like
Mm,
reading a bunch, and like when I just needed a second to like not have to really retain information, I was like, I'm gonna read a comic. Like just
yeah.
whiz through one real quick, have fun with it, and then get back to whatever I was doing that's more important. But
Yeah.
no, I'm excited for this Batman stuff. Do you have any ideas of what you're expecting it to be for a villain?
I really don't know the in depths. Batman's always not been interesting to me outside of the movies. I've always, uh, it's just like you put this like
We are making that into a short. You're getting flamed for that one.
you just got this fantastical world of all these amazing, super cool superheroes. And then you got Batman, dude. And I just like it's just he's just not realistic. And like in that world, it just doesn't make
Wait,
sense.
time out.
It
He's not
doesn't make
realistic.
sense.
So we
You
got
got
Superman. We got a guy that has a ring that can like make
exactly.
stuff happen, but
It's
Batman's not. That's where you draw the line.
I'm saying it doesn't make sense in universe. Like and we got these Batman fanboys who are like, with enough time, he could do anything. And it's
Yeah,
like he
that one I've always like, and I'm a
he's
huge
not that.
Batman fan. He's my favorite DC hero. Like I love Batman. But when people are like, give Batman like a month and I'm like, no, he's probably
Bat
still not gonna be able to do like whatever you're saying he's gonna
Yeah,
be able to do.
Batman with prep time. Batman with prep time, he's got it.
Yeah.
It's like no, you bunch of
Batman with prep
clowns.
time is the most overpowered character to a lot of people. Like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think he'd take down, Berserker Thor.
yeah,
You know,
literally. Like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
yeah, Batman
Nah.
prep time takes that.
Yeah, Batman prep time. But
But
so you don't have
so
any no
well,
theories for your
when
villain?
when I go DC, I go Flash and I go Green Lantern
Green
Corps.
Lantern.
Those
Yeah.
are my tops. That's what I go. I love those. Booster Gold is fantastic. I love his comics. It's just like I don't go towards a Batman comic, and maybe that's because we have good media. Like we've had the
We
movies,
do, yeah.
we and he it just seems kind of overplayed with his comics. It just doesn't seem. It's just not as interesting as the others. Now you got me those absolute Batmans, and those were really good, and I
Mhm.
enjoyed them. But it's just like if I feel like there's just better DC comics out there that I go to, and I have such a limited time and such a uh like I haven't read a ton of comics. I've read a
Yeah.
good bit for your average person, but for a comic nerd, I have not read enough like to be
Mhm.
considered like a comic nerd. So it's hard to pick up and choose those. And that's a hot take, I know. I just think Batman's kind of meh in
Well, I don't think
universe.
the meh thing is kind of crazy, but I don't think a lot of people would really disagree with you because I know a ton of people that are big DC fans, especially like what we're talking about it, like the absolute universe right now. a lot of people do like the Wonder Woman and Superman stories better than Batman. I
Yeah,
think for me, I just like Batman better as like a character. So obviously, naturally, I'm going to be more interested in that story. But I don't think that you're crazy for not like him being your favorite DC hero, because I do think that's he's the most popular, I would say for sure, probably the most well known. But
yeah,
I don't necessarily think among like comic readers and people like us, he's a lot of people's favorite. I think a lot of people do lean more towards Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. I haven't read. You brought up Booster Gold. I haven't read anything about him, so that's a character
yeah.
I'd like to read some about and get to know more.
Oh,
But
so cool. I read him when I read Flashpoint.
mm,
I read a bunch of him when I read Flashpoint because he's kind of integral with that with Rip Hunter and stuff. And then you talking about Rip Hunter, that like the Booster Gold Rip Hunter thing. If you don't know, like that's a such that's just so cool. Such a
yeah,
cool like little thing that they've created. DC's got the time travel stuff like on lock. Honestly,
they
like
do a good
they
job
do a
with it.
good job with that stuff. So
Well, I mean, the whole Flashpoint series is like the way to do it. Like they do such a good job in
yeah,
that.
they did a
So
great job.
another villain just came to mind. I was thinking of some people do think it could be Hush, which is another thing that I am not familiar enough with as a
Okay.
Batman fan to like really be excited about it. But that is another people that think could be a potential because we haven't seen him on big screen. Kind of does play into more of that Bruce Wayne Batman esque stuff. So I think that one's kind of interesting too.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if I could list off any. I think the only one I'm thinking of is like Killer Croc is like maybe. I
Well,
don't know.
and then he was he in the first Suicide Squad movie?
Yeah, he was.
So I don't that's the other thing though, like
Does
does
that
that
count?
count? Yeah, like that's where I'm kind of at too because if that does count then like there's a few right off the bat that you can't,
Yeah.
consider. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see
It'd
where
be
they
cool
go
if it
with
was
that.
Red Hood.
I just feel like we do need some of that. I feel like they'll save something like Red Hood for like a TV show. I feel like
Well,
that
they're
would fit a
doing
TV show really well.
aren't they doing the dynamic duo, which is Nightwing and Red Hood?
I don't know if they are or not. I didn't see
That's an
that.
animated movie coming out next year, I think, from
Oh, is it?
DC
Okay.
Universe
Oh,
in
cool.
universe, I think.
Okay, so then that's exactly what I was thinking it would be. Like an animated something would fit
Yeah.
that really well. So no, that would be cool. I haven't seen that.
Yes.
I don't know how I haven't, but
Yeah. It's been quiet. They haven't talked about it a lot, but I saw a confirmation that it is still happening. I think last week. So
and that's 2026.
yeah, 2026. It's supposed to come out. So I have
Man,
to
dude, it's
check. They made a display, isn't?
well, I mean, even if they like move it back some, like think about the movies we do have coming up for just like we've talked about it
Dude.
a little bit in the past, but if that does come out, that kind of ushers in the crazy 2027 we're gonna have because I mean, we got Spider Verse, we got Superman. I mean, it's gonna be awesome.
Dude, I'm really pumped. We got such good content coming in the next few years. It's gonna be really cool.
And a lot of it is like interesting because with DC, this is like they're starting, they're like getting going, but like Marvel's kind of like almost like capping off stuff. They're like ending stories and legacies right now, so
Yep.
it's kind of fun to see like both of them doing the opposite. It's gonna be really interesting to see like how that moves forward because obviously they're gonna keep making Marvel stuff. They're gonna reboot the universe or something like that. But it's kind of fun. Like we're kind of having both of them. Like we have one in the infant stage and one is like the grown adult already. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely also fun because Marvel is also kind of trying to start the wheel rolling again. So it's like they're starting a rebirth from Age, and DC's getting that fresh slate. And I'm interested
Yep.
to see which will do better after next year when we see Doomsday. Because Doomsday is supposed to be the starting point, not the ending point, which Kevin Feige has
Yeah.
said several times. So I'm curious to see how fans react to Doomsday being a jumping off point instead of a conclusion point, which is what we've generally seen the Avengers movies be.
Did you see the leak? I think it literally. I don't know why I didn't send this to you. It literally happened maybe like 5 minutes before we got in the podcast, and I already forgot to bring it up before. But apparently there was a because they just wrapped filming for Doomsday, and
Hmm.
apparently they gave out like parting gifts and stuff like that. And one of the makeup artists posted a picture of what her gift was, and it was like a bag that had a bunch of the characters' faces on it. I'm actually gonna look it up real quick to see if I can find it because some of the characters in there, like the fact that this was put on the bag was kind of interesting because like it was Cyclops was on it. Um, Here it is. So we got like Cyclops, Sentry. Some people are speculating Franklin Richards was on the bag, like he's gonna serve like a more prominent role. I will
Okay.
actually send this to you real quick.
Yeah, send it to me.
You guys are seeing some live stuff come up for the podcast right here.
Oh,
Um,
snap.
and it's kind of funny. In the past, we would have paused this and sent it to you, and then we would have like talked about it, and then would have restarted it. But now that we're on video for, we can't do that anymore. But I just sent it to you over on your phone. It's just kind of interesting, just speaking of it being a starting off point for Doomsday. I mean, there's a few mutants on here. Like there's a Cyclops. There's what's his name? The Devil. What's his name from the X
Nightcrawler?
Men? Nightcrawler's listed on here. Gambit's on here. Like a bunch of people that like Thor's on here, obviously. So I think this is a pretty interesting little like snippet of information that's starting to release. Like little things like this because normally we would have started to see a lot of like Doomsday leaks and stuff. But think about they went through like the whole filming process and we didn't really
Dude,
get anything.
that's
And
what
this is
that's
like
what
the
somebody
first
said. Like,
substantial information.
how in the world have we not? And that like that doesn't tell us anything.
No, it's just
We already
characters.
knew all those characters were, and we already got the
Yep.
casting. We knew those characters were
Yep.
happening. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, somebody made that comment. They were like, we literally knew like the entire story of Wolverine versus Deadpool because we had so many set leaks.
Set leaks.
And then they're filming in London and we don't see anything.
Yeah.
And like people are grasping at straws. They're like, Tobey Maguire was in London. Is he
Literally.
in Doomsday?
Well, and it's funny too. Like we talked about recently, how much Spider-Man, the Brand New Day leaks there were.
No, a
Did
lot.
they do that on purpose? Like I'm starting to think like they were like intentionally putting this stuff out
Yeah.
here. They were intentionally filming in the streets, open to the public, to kind of just shy away from the Doomsday stuff that was going on. And then if you think even further, we haven't seen any more Brand New Day leaks. Like that
Not
was
anything.
it. So I'm starting to think the stuff we saw is going to happen like 10 minutes into the movie, and we have
Yeah.
no idea with what the rest of it's going to be. Which, if
I'd
Marvel
agree
has
with that.
gotten that back under control, that's a huge step for them. Because there's a lot of people that weren't going to the movies anymore because they were like, why would I want to go see the stuff I already know what's going to happen? I'll just wait till it comes out on streaming.
Dude,
So
Jacob, that's a great take.
I think
That
it
is a
might
great
be.
take that Marvel did that as a distract. They're literally blowing up entire streets just to make
Yeah,
sure that no one
tanks.
sees anything.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they got tanks with like
I
the
hadn't even thought of
Punisher
that.
logo flying down the street. But if you don't look over in this other corner of the studio, we're literally filming the entirety of Doomsday. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of interesting. Like that's the only thing that makes sense to me because we've never seen leaks like that from Marvel. Like we've seen big ones, we've seen a lot of stuff, but like literally open film sets, that's
Yeah.
kind of different for them. And
No, it's
so
definitely
to
different.
to get through all of Doomsday filming, literally not even I haven't even seen set photos. Like normally we see like
Yeah, at least
Thor
something.
standing
Not a
next to Doctor
single thing.
Doom. Yeah, like something. Like Robert Downey Jr. and Thor standing like they're together. Like we didn't get any of that.
Especially since like it's in London. Like they're filming in
Yep.
London. So I don't know. I don't know how they don't have anything. That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. That's a great point. I'm
So
yeah, I'm impressed.
hopefully
And
we'll
and and we saw that Punisher finish filming. The
yeah,
Punisher
which
series is complete, and we didn't see anything from that except for a
yep,
post filming. John Bernthal sent out like a little post filming speech to the cast and crew,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
thank you. But that's it.
Yeah. So that
Kind of
makes it
crazy.
that's exciting for us because we love to be
Yeah.
actually like surprised. Like
Yeah.
how much of you brought up Deadpool and Wolverine? How much of that movie didn't really like surprise us because we had seen all the leaks and even
Oh,
Fantastic Four a little bit. There was a lot of leaks for it like that we had seen. We had seen like the Fantastic Car. We had seen a lot of that stuff. Um, and like Doomsday, we legit have not seen anything. So that's
yeah.
exciting.
That's
I'm
cool.
excited about that.
I like that a lot. We not only do we have this, but we had the Emmys pop off, and just wanting to let y'all know, I know Jacob, you're a big anti awards guy. You didn't even know it happened. I
I'm
always
not.
enjoy to do it because I'm a validation guy. I like to have validation, and so when the movies I like get awards, I'm like, yeah, that's right. So that was awesome. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you enjoyed it, then it doesn't matter if anyone else did. Uh, but it's kind of cool if you did. And I just wanted to say two of our shows that we liked heavily performed incredibly well at the Emmys, and that was Andor and The Penguin. Big shout out to The Penguin for just you know having some really awesome stuff, and then Kristen Milotti, she taking home the outstanding actress in a drama series. Well deserved.
Yeah, yeah.
Incredible in that show. Episode 4 of The Penguin is her shining moment, and it was well worth it. Like, so happy that she got that. And pretty good. And then Andor winning a, best writing for a drama. That's cool. Like, that's Star
Yeah.
Wars show winning a best writing for a drama series. Like, that's really good. And it deserved it. Like, it was such a good show. It had so many great moments. And I do think, like, the second half of that series was some of the best TV that we've ever seen put to screen. And so that's a big statement for me, but I truly stand by that. No matter what your stance is on Star Wars, I think Andor outpaces all that. It's just too good to not like.
I think
So,
the other cool thing about both of those two, real quick, before we move on, is how often do we not get to see like comic book movies? Star Wars, I'll throw it in there with that same category. They don't usually get like the recognition because of what they are, right?
right.
Like Avengers movies, they probably should have been nominated for more stuff than they have. There's definitely been
Yeah.
Marvel movies that should win like CGI awards and stuff like that, but they just don't because of what they are. And so that's what excited me when you told me these right before is like it's nice that they're finally starting to get the recognition they definitely do deserve. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to be a comic book fan to like either of those shows. They're just great shows.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah. No, it is it's a crying shame that like the only Oscar winning we've had or even nomination for best picture was Black Panther, I think. I think Black Panther was the only
I
one
think
that's
that
got
that
best
might be
picture. And like
yeah.
it's not even the best Marvel movie by far. Like I don't think Black Panther's top 10. It's crazy overrated. And I understand it was a cultural phenomenon and like I am happy for all of that, but as far as a movie goes, it's just fine.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
It's fine.
I agree with that.
Um but all right, Jacob, you have some questions that you were going to want to ask. You looked up, you said, "Hey, Zane, you going to agree with these or are you going to disagree as always?" What you
So
got?
this is a fun little segment we kind of want to incorporate into the podcast a little bit when we have slower weeks like this. But we're going to come up with not necessarily some hot takes. Some of them could be hot takes. Some of them might just be generic statements. But me and Zane are going to either agree or disagree on these statements, and then we'll give a little bit of our reasoning for why we do agree or disagree. And I already know Zane's answer for this one, but I thought it would be good to throw him under the bus a little bit this
Wait,
episode. And hopefully
more
Peyton
more
listens.
this episode.
Hopefully Peyton is watching this episode because he's also going to be on my side of this one. Zane, Star Wars is the best sci-fi film series. Agree or disagree?
Big disagree. That I know it's oh, I couldn't disagree with that enough. Star Wars is awesome and I
Yep,
I
yep.
really like Star Wars, but it is not the best sci-fi films. It's just not. We we have outpaced them like and especially so you said series though, right?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you
We'll just say films. I threw the word
okay.
series in there,
So
but
if we're talking about like
I guess
series of
more so
films,
this
I still
this
don't think it's
does
still not up there
exclude
series of film.
this does exclude like one-offs. So like if there is a
Interstellar
movie
doesn't
like
count.
no, Interstellar wouldn't count. This is just
No.
like longevity wise. Like I also won't say longevity wise because that also does change things. Just like
Yeah.
a series, literally just a franchise, like just a series.
Yeah, as you start adding that stuff, it does become a little harder
Mm.
to do that stuff. But specifically the one that Jacob is referencing, he said Star Wars is the best film, sci-fi film, like top film, singular. And I just can't even come close to putting any of the 9 originals in the top 5. Like, don't think it's close. So
Well, I did say series.
I
So
know,
this
I know.
is
I that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
was referencing your thing. I don't know. I would definitely disagree offhand. I would put the Dune series with 2 movies above it. I can't. I Not one Star Wars movie is a 10 out of 10. Andor is the only thing close enough to that for me, and it wouldn't really count for the series aspect of it because it's part of the movie. So I would say no on that, just for the fact that Dune exists out there, and
Yeah,
also the
dude.
Matrix. I'd put the Matrix above Star Wars any day. So I know a lot of people don't like the second one and the third one, but the first one is such a masterpiece it outpaces all the other Star Wars films.
I think Dune is the one where I'm like, yeah, you have a grounds for arguing that. But
Okay.
overall, for me, I just something about the obviously I love Star Wars. Obviously, those things play a big role in it. But man, I mean, I gotta agree. It's like Star Wars is just it is sci-fi. Like it is the epitome of sci-fi films. Like nothing even comes close. So
Oh
that's our
man.
first
So
one.
you
That's our
agree
first
with
one.
it?
I agree with it. Yeah, like
Ugh.
sci-fi isn't what it is today without Star
The
Wars.
best.
And it
The
and those
best.
things make a difference. Like
But
you
does
gotta
it
take it
matter when we're
all
talking
into
about the best?
consideration. Yeah, it does for me. Like, man,
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Man.
it is the best. But not surprising, we're gonna disagree on our
Yeah.
first question here. But let's move on to our second one. And I think this will also already know the answer to you on this one. But I'm hoping maybe you'll be a little bit more open minded to this one.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. Agree or disagree? A little thinking going on here. This is not such a surefire. I figured Zane would be
Okay.
ready on like just boom.
I would say yes. I would agree with that.
Okay, okay.
I would agree
I
with
agree
it.
too. I think
Okay.
he is the best Spider-Man.
All
Yeah.
right. I
I just
it's
think
it's close because Toby for me is by far the worst. I don't think I
man,
think to I
Zane has upsetted 2 entire generations this podcast. One, Batman is meh, and two, Tobey Maguire is the worst Spider-Man.
not even close to me. Like
Yeah.
like honestly, I think Tom Holland is leaps and bounds above Toby. I just think that for Andrew Garfield's personification of Spider-Man, specifically
Hmm.
Spider-Man, not Peter
Hmm.
Parker, Spider-Man is significantly better. He is quippy, he is fun, he is energetic, he is acrobatic. We get to see amazing swings. We get to see him think and be techie, like without relying on other people to do it. I think he really nails Spider-Man. Now, I think there can be an argument to be made about Peter Parker, like who does the best Peter Parker. I think that would be Tom Holland. But as far as like doing the Spider-Man and then putting his take of Peter Parker with the Spider-Man, I still think he is better.
Yeah.
But it's close for
Just
me.
overall.
Toby Maguire, he's not even competition for me. Yeah, y'all can roast me for that one, but for me, I agree with that statement. Toby's
Okay.
Andrew's the best,
So we're one for
and
two
yeah.
on our agrees because I
Now,
would
how do you
also
feel
agree with
about
that.
Toby? How do you feel about Toby?
I don't hate him. I don't
Well, I don't hate
like.
him.
Yeah, well, I
That's a
like
strong
him
word.
more than you do. I definitely
Okay.
like him more than you do. I think my problem with Toby's personification of Spider-Man is like I like a lot of aspects about it, but I feel like it is so emotionless a lot of
Mm,
the time. Like his Spider-Man. Like you were just
okay.
talking about like a big aspect for Spider-Man in my opinion is like being fun, quippy, joking around. Like those things are really important for Spider-Man in his fights to be
Yeah.
saying those things. And his just doesn't really do that. Like we see Tom Holland's do it all the time. Like he'll say like, "Whoa, that's a cool weapon. Where'd you get that?" Like little things like that. We don't see Tobey Maguire's really do that much. And so I think that's one of the things that I don't like as much about his Spider-Man. And that's a big aspect for Spider-Man is like the personality of Spider-Man.
Okay. No, I
So
I
no,
agree
I,
with that.
I agree on that one. All right, the last one. And this one's gonna take some thinking of unfortunately, we don't have the completion of this series that I'm gonna ask you the question on. So you're gonna
Ooh.
have to do a little bit of thinking and maybe a little theorizing, and maybe have to justify your answer a little bit if you lean one way or the other. But I think I already know your answer, so you won't have to justify it as much. The Batman trilogy, this is Robert Pattinson's Batman,
Okay.
will be a better trilogy than The Dark Knight. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree. So obviously, The Dark Knight stands on its own. You don't have to explain much. But what about Robert Pattinson's Batman do you think doesn't have the potential to live up to that?
I think the Batman Begins is better than the Batman.
Okay.
And I know that's probably the hottest take I've said today.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
just
rough
I'm
one.
just I'm just I love Batman Begins. I
Mhm.
think I love Christian Bale in it. I love the origin. Liam Neeson in that is just phenomenal. I think it's a cool twist. I didn't see it coming. You got Cillian Murphy playing
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. It's just like it's a really good film, and people sleep on it a lot. But that movie gave us The Dark Knight. And so I think because of the acting of Christian Bale, how good the original story was, the directing of Christopher Nolan, like he just like it just sings. Like that's a good movie. And I'm not saying that it's significantly better because the Batman's good too, and I think they did a great job with it. But it's just like I hated I was laughing out loud at moments in the Batman when I shouldn't have been laughing out loud. Like when he's skydiving in that wingsuit and he smacks that truck like at like 80 miles an hour and he like well like just stands up like it's fine. And then he takes like 75 bullets to the chest and like of a submachine gun. He's like, we're all good, kosher. And then, a shotgun blast is like, oh, I'm dead. It's like, okay, like, uh, you know, I don't think to me there was just like there was points and it was like long. It was too long. I just I have too many problems with it that I don't have with Batman Begins, and I didn't like Bruce Wayne in it. I thought the Bruce you talked about the second one's going to be Bruce Wayne, and they can fix that, and that may be how they were like, hey, you're going to have to do something. But I mean, the Batman trilogy from um 2000, whatever it is, it's just better. Like Christian
Mhm.
Bale's, it's just peak Batman, and honestly, I don't want to get a third movie because I don't want more of this Batman. Robert Patterson does fine and he's great, but I want to see James Gunn's vision. Like I don't really care about this anymore. Like it was fine when we didn't have something, but now this movie is holding up Brave and the Bold. I don't care. Like let's get the James Gunn's vision. So that for me is why I say no. What's your stance on this?
I think it will be. I
You think it
really
will be
do.
better?
I
Okay.
do. The first movie is significantly, well, I won't say significantly. It is a good bit better than Batman Begins, in my opinion. I
Okay.
loved the first, like, the Batman for me was such a good Batman movie. It touched on all the things I had wanted from Batman, more so than what we really got in The Dark Knight. And I love The Dark Knight, so don't take this as like I hate it to those
In
listening.
the Dark Knight or the
In
Batman
the Dark Knight,
Begins?
like no, in like the just like the Dark Knight trilogy,
Okay.
like the Christian Bale. I love those movies. I think they're fantastic. I just loved what we got from Robert Pattinson's first movie a little bit more starting out. And like I said, obviously we don't have the next two movies that we're supposed to be getting for Robert Pattinson, so this is kind of a hard question to answer because these next two movies could be terrible.
Yeah.
But I just think this first one was so good. Obviously this doesn't count because it's not technically part, but with how good the Penguin was, gives me a lot of hope for how good the next Batman movie is gonna be.
But
So
like that kind of like scares me because Matt Reeves isn't even including, you know, any of those characters really in the second one.
yeah, I think they did confirm the Penguin should be in the second one. But I know they said Christian Melodi's character,
Christine,
what's her
yeah.
name? Sophia.
Yeah,
She
Sophia's
won't
not
be
going to
in
be
it.
in there.
Yeah, she
But I
won't be
mean
in it
that
at all.
means like they didn't really like look into that one. So,
Well,
I
she
don't
did get
know.
arrested at the end, so they could just say, "Oh, she's back in Arkham." kind of
Okay.
go that route. But I just feel like there's so much potential for Robert Pattinson's, and I loved it. I had such a good time watching that movie. So I'm gonna agree. I think
What
it will be better
what did you
whenever it's
give
all said and done.
the rating of the Batman?
Did we weren't podcasting when that came out, were we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't know if I ever actually, because before we started like podcasting, I never really rated movies. I
Oh,
would
okay.
just say like it was good
Yeah.
or bad or something like that.
Best
Um,
movie ever.
yeah, I would. That's what I would have said. I'd probably like this is a must see movie. But like now, if I rated it, and I haven't seen it for a couple years, so I need to rewatch it because again, this could
Okay.
be just like my thinking of only the good parts of the movie, and you know how that can be like sometimes you forget about the parts that aren't so good.
Yeah.
I would probably give it a 9. Like I thought the Batman was incredible.
I will say, yeah, it's just not as good in my opinion.
As Batman
I
Begins, because that's what you're really
yeah.
basing it, because it's only
Yeah,
one
because
movie.
that's all I really can.
Yeah.
Like I can't base it on the second and the third because they don't exist. So
Mhm.
if I'm looking at this one in a vacuum and Batman Begins is its only competition, I still put Batman Begins ahead of it. I think there's potential here, but like even like the Riddler, I mean not the Riddler, the Joker that they put, I didn't really wasn't really feeling those vibes. Now I love that actor,
Mhm.
but I just yeah, Barry's great. And I think he could do a fantastic job, but from the look that we got, it was fine. And then, like I said, like I feel like it's when they go with the link that they did on that, it kind of gets like I don't know, like too uppity on itself. I guess it's like we can close the film, like we can bring it to a conclusion. Like consistency, I worry about, but like you said, if we're building off of shows like The Penguin, we're putting some other stuff in it. I'm not gonna say it's not going to. Like
Mhm.
there's like it's close enough. I gave Batman Begins an 8, and I gave The Batman an 8. Like they're different eights,
Yeah.
but they're both 8. They're neither one is a 7. They're both above average. They're both very good films, but they didn't do it all the way. Like they didn't like have that last little hint for me. So I have them both at 8s. And so it's close, but I'm going Christian Bale over.
I will say the one thing I don't think the Reeves verse will ever be able to compete on is the Christopher Nolan. Like the cinematography, like just the way the Dark Knight movies look are just
Yeah,
incredible. Like the
they're so
shooting,
good.
all that stuff is incredible. That's the one thing I don't think we'll ever be able to compare. But I think like the actual movie and substance of the movie, the stories and the plot lines, that's where I thought the Batman shined. So, but hey, we agreed on one. 1 out of 3 is not
I'll
bad for
take it.
us.
I'll
Usually it's
take it.
0 out of 3. So those are the only ones I've got. But yeah, fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, that's always puts it at a really good time for this one. It is funny though because I like I man I came in hot this episode. I did not think
Yeah.
I did not think I was gonna go with that many disagreements. Oh man, yeah.
Hey, it
Just
happens.
asking, hey
Sometimes that's just how
guys,
the podcast rolls.
blow up the comments. Like, let us let us know
Please,
how stupid of a
please.
commentary it is. Yeah, but we also are going to start potentially reviewing one older movie a month to try to get just Jacob's catalog up higher. There's a bunch of old movies that I haven't seen that they're on my watch list. I just don't make time to watch them. And so for some of these slower moments, it would have been good to kind of have like, hey, let's watch this and let's talk about this. So we're gonna start doing that occasionally. So if you guys have any recommendations for movies or shows that are a little older that we haven't picked up and watched that you'd like to hear our opinions of, you'd like to hear my hot take and Jacob's reasonable take, let us know, and we'd be happy to watch through those. We have one on the list right now, which somebody sent in. They said they really want to see us our take on Spirited Away. So that one is on the docket. I don't know if it'll be first, but we'll be watching that and giving our comments on it eventually. And then we'll see some more. So I can't wait for Jacob to watch the Matrix and the John Wick series and kind of then I get to rewatch them because I don't want to talk about something I haven't seen for a decade. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this, and I'm so glad that you're kind of like, because this was Jacob's idea. Jacob was like, "Hey, let's watch some old films." So I'm like, "Let's go."
I think it'll be fun too with maybe some of those movies that have like series because this will probably be like a monthly thing. And depending on how crazy the month is, maybe it'll be like an every other month thing.
Yeah,
Like this month would have been perfect. We probably could have had like maybe two of them or something like that because
yeah,
we just been kind of trying to come up with stuff. But I think for some of the series, like the John Wick stuff, might be fun just to do an entire episode on like the entire series of the John Wick thing.
yeah,
So stuff like that might be really fun. But no, I think there's a lot of fun potential for it, and it should be a good time.
yeah. It definitely will. I'm very much looking forward to it. But yeah. Well, Jacob, you got anything else to add before we hop out of here?
No, that's about all I've got for this one.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to my hot takes and my ridiculousness throughout this episode. I've had a blast doing it. Jacob, it's good to be back on the mic with you. To see you. I know it's so crazy. 1 week off can feel like such a long time, but it really does. It feels like we haven't done this in a minute. So I'm excited. We're recording this a little early because we got some displays, but this will be coming out Tuesday. So if you're listening to this, it's past Tuesday. But we are looking forward to the next week, which Marvel Zombies will have dropped, which is pretty cool. So hopefully we'll be able to have watched at least a little bit of that and to give our takes on those 4 episodes of Marvel Zombies and some other stuff. So, guys, thanks for sticking around with us. We've enjoyed it, whether you did or not. So, but let us know in the comments. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Let us know if you didn't. Still, let us know. Like, we want to know what you didn't like. So, thank you guys for sticking around, and we will catch you in the next episode of Weekly Fix.